What's going on, guys? Welcome. Today is October 22nd. New York session's coming to an end. So let's break down some of these trades here. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Josh Paveo. I've been trading live every day with the traders inside Day Trading University. So a lot of these trades, I either took them live or I shared them inside our Discord, which is where I share all of my trades when I'm trading. So with that being said, let's talk about gold first. Now, I've been talking about how, if you've seen any other videos or if you've heard anything I've been talking about on gold, the range and the volatility and the price action on gold has been really tough. Like when I measure this, let's see if I'll make this a little bigger. When you measure these candles, even when the market closed, like when we're not in New York session yet, the size of these candles is a little ridiculous. And the only problem with that is if you guys aren't using good risk management, meaning like lowering the risk that you're taking, because you can't really change where your stop loss goes. It's just the volatility is a little ridiculous. So I didn't take any trades on gold. I will break down the trades that I called on gold during the live call, during the session, and I'll also talk about maybe some other entries that I would take or I would look for. You know, I can see one right here that doesn't look bad either. It's just, I'll say this. If you're taking trades on gold, like this is, obviously you can see it's a good entry. This was at the new hourly candle. We came down to support and it was just an open entry, open candle entry with volume. And the second entry that I saw was actually here. Actually, I'll move it like this so you can see it. That was the second entry right here. We had another pullback to support. We held, and this, if you look at the bottom at the time, I would expect volume here because it's at the New York Stock Exchange open. And the new hourly, that's also another time I expect volume on gold. And also around 8:20 Eastern time, which is when we got this breakout here, the commodity exchange open. Gold's a commodity, so typically gold will move or we'll get some volume, possibly an opportunity for taking those trades. I don't like anything on gold, to be honest. I mean, it's easy to take a step back now and be like, oh, you should have taken buys down here or here. You know, you do have a little bit of an order block here and a breakout again. But the fake outs on gold and the ranges that it's moving in, I just don't like. We did have some things happen today in terms of headlines from the White House and Trump, which could have maybe helped this kind of nasty price action. But for the most part, in my opinion, if you're going to be taking buys on gold, which I want to because I'm bullish on gold, you have to keep looking at all of these drops as fake outs. Every time we get a break of support, every time we get these wicks to the downside, you just have to keep looking at it as being like, gold isn't going to drop, I'm going to take the buys as soon as it comes back up. Or you wait for consolidation like this, a nice little order block, and then a breakout. Now the problem with that is if you continued to do that the past couple of days, you would have taken a lot of losses because we just had a 2,500 pip drop to the downside. And if you kept trying to buy it back up when it kept dropping, it wouldn't have worked out too well for you. So I think I took buys once yesterday, which I broke down already somewhere over here. But today just wasn't the day for it. All of these drops were just fake outs to take it right back up. And I don't like trading in that environment. It's just not something that I like to do. Even though I really love trading gold, right now, as long as the government's shut down, I'm completely content with staying away. NASDAQ has been perfect. The price action's clean. I actually took way more trades on NAS than I normally do. So I'll break this down. I'll try to break this down piece by piece. I'll leave all these on here so I remember the trades that I took. And also, I do have some screenshots. Let me end this real quick. I do have some screenshots for the trades that I took inside here. I'll scatter through and show them so that way you can see I'm actually taking these trades. The way this works, I'm trading live every day, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. With Day Trading University, but you can see the time here at 10:52. When I end the call, I'm still looking for trades sometimes, depending on what happened, and then I'll share my trades in here, or I'll talk with them in the chat room. A lot of them were taking some of the same trades too. We can see, I think Wally up here shared his trade, which I'll show, yeah, there it is. So even in the win section, which I'll go over after, let's start off with NAS. Now, the first entry, maybe I'll do it like this, if this makes it a little easier for you guys, the replay mode, so that way you don't see everything else. This entry here, it was, market opened, we ended up getting, oh, let me fix this. This is cut off. There you go. Okay, so this entry here, we ended up getting an aggressive pullback on NAS. I'm personally still looking for buys on NAS. So I waited for the closure, I waited to see it hold support. I entered on the open candle here. This was during the live call, so I don't have a screenshot of this, but it was recorded if you want to go watch the video. I entered here, and then when NAS pushed up to this zone, I went break even. There was a lot of volume. It was a really good entry looking back at it, but unfortunately, it ended up hitting this zone, and the volume came back down, and it tapped me and still took off. And at that point, I just didn't want to chase it. I'm like, I'm not gonna, I had a really good entry, and it's just after seeing an aggressive drop like this and entering on an open candle with that kind of volume, I tend to protect my entry as quick as I can. I at least tried to wait until it was away from my entry, and it still got me. So it is what it is. This trade, I think I closed with like, I don't know, $9 in profit or something like that. So nothing too crazy. But we'll fast forward a little bit. I didn't want to take any more trades here. I was waiting to see if I get a pullback. Actually, I'll show you in the Discord. In the analysis channel, we'll scroll up a little bit. As soon as we ended the call, so this was the trade here, and this was it. So I told them I'm looking for a pullback right here. Tech stocks are starting to look a little mixed. Majority of them are pushing down. Let's see if it gives us a pullback on NAS. So I wasn't expecting the pullback on NAS to be aggressive enough for me to take a trade. Normally I just wait for the pullback and take buys, but we ended up getting this price action here. We hit support, pushed up, and then you can see a lot of volume. I ended up entering on the next candle impulsively as it dropped, right here. So I entered on this candle as it was dropping, and I'm not too sure if I shared the screenshot on this one inside Day Trading University or not. Yeah, here it is. I told them I took the sell. So that was that one there. Not really too much to go deep into that. I look at a lot of different things when I'm trading NAS, tech stocks, volatility index, yields. I pay attention to all of this stuff. It matters to me, especially tech stocks. So that was the trade, and I'm still bullish on NAS, so I'm not holding any of these sells. I wanted to keep taking buys, and I mean, you'll see I took buys still a couple more times. So we'll play this out a little more. I ended up entering here. This trade, I actually do think I have a screenshot of it in the group because I was talking to Wally about it right here. So there's my entry. You can see it right here in the background. I think this one shows about $1,000 in profit. If you can see that, zoom in on it a little bit. So there's that trade. Wally actually got a way better entry than me. He entered somewhere down here. I had an alert here, and I would have entered, but I hesitated. I ended up waiting until it broke a little higher, and then that one ended up playing out. So I took partials, and then ended up getting, I don't think I did a break even on this one. I think I ended up closing the whole trade here because I just wasn't too sure what NAS was going to do after we had this aggressive drop. Thankfully, I did that because we'll play this out a little more. This trade here, I do have a screenshot of this one too, but it was in the chat room. So this was that entry. This is only 5 contracts. I already took partials on it, but you can see the entry was at 25,108, which is right here. And down here, I ended up taking partials or closing it somewhere down here, which I think I said it. Yeah, I just closed for another scalp. Just wasn't expecting so much volume on NAS, so I'm like, it's crazy. Now, another trade. Hopefully I'm going slow enough that this makes sense. This is just kind of like, in my opinion, the price action was really clean. It's not like we were consolidating. I'm not going to be buying and selling in consolidation. We were actually pushing and dropping. So, you know, you also notice, like, I didn't buy it here. I bought it when I saw the reversal. I didn't take sells here. I took sells when I saw the volume and it was breaking support. And even then, I only took it as a scalp. So this isn't something I recommend if you're maybe not that experienced with something like NASDAQ. So just be careful doing something like this. I had to cut myself off too. I didn't like doing it. So another trade here. I'll bring over the Discord again because I actually shared this right here about 11:37 in the morning. This is getting towards the end of my trading session. I usually stop trading around 12 p.m. We had support here, and we weren't holding it yet. But you can see I said it. I was like, I want to see if support holds. So far, it's still dropping. I'm still looking for buys. I still want to take buys, even though I just took the sells. And we have so much volume. I want to see if this reverses. And then there's the entry right here. So I'll zoom in on it too. This one, I think at the screenshot, just under $1,000 in profit. I can't remember how much I closed with this, but I did hold it a little more. Here we go. So I took partials. I left one contract when it was at $1,000, and then I closed somewhere as it pushed up, I think in the next candle, which we'll see right here. Yeah, so I closed on that one too. Now, what ended up happening, I wasn't looking for any more trades, but 12 o'clock I stopped trading and I was done. I was like, I'm good. I went, walked my dog. I came back into the office and this happened. I literally caught this like as I was walking back into the office. If you take a look, I'll zoom in on how massive this drop is and how big that wick is on NAS. You take a look at the time, it was at 12:30, 12:33, around there. So if we take a look at the news feed or headlines that were coming out, we had headlines from Trump. And it was right here, 12:34 p.m. Eastern. I'll see if maybe I'll zoom in on this to make it easier for you guys to read it. The Trump administration is considering a plan to restrict globally produced exports to China. So without confusing you on what this headline means, the U.S. and China have been going through more tariff and trade tensions. It's not good for NAS when that happens. It's not good for the stock market. It gives us market fear. And when this happened in the past, March, April, we were having so much nonsense with the trade war and the tariffs. NAS was crazy. And you take a look in the analysis channel, I'll show you, I even said it here. Where is it? Be careful. I was after we got those headlines about tariffs, and I even told them, if you can see this in the bottom, I've seen this so many times during the trade wars in March. Nasty consolidation with volume. You take a look at what NAS did for a little bit here. This is nasty consolidation with volume, right? You measure these ranges out. We're getting candles pushing in both directions. You don't know where it's going to go. And this is a 300 points, 300 ticks, whatever you want to call it. 300 ticks. And it's a massive range. I actually got a couple break-even trades here on NAS because I kept trying to take the sells. I took sells here. I went break-even when it came down to support. It took me out of break-even. And then this started to push up, and I was like, maybe we're just gonna start pushing back up. But the headlines didn't make any sense for NAS to push up. I still think we're gonna drop. And then I waited. I took another trade on the sells, and thankfully it ended up playing out. I'm not too sure. I think I posted the screenshot of this one on my Instagram. I closed with like 10,000 in profit. But if we play this out a little bit, I closed somewhere down here, and we continue to play out what NAS did. We just continue to get a little bit of a drop, and the volatility has been a little crazy. I'm not trading anymore. I had to cut myself off because I wanted to take buys. We'll do it right here. I wanted to get back in on buys here, and then again, I wanted to get back in on buys right here. But it's like, I've already taken way more trades than I normally take. I'm ending the day in profit, which I'm more than happy with, and I'm still bullish on NAS. So I want to take buys. Like, this is a really clean reversal. I just don't like the volatility, so I'm staying out. But overall, a lot of really good trades. This isn't something I normally do with taking so many trades. We were just trending really nicely in both directions, and it was too easy not to take advantage of. So I hope some of these breakdowns are helpful for you guys. If you want to trade live with me, we'll put the link somewhere down below because a lot of these trades are taken live or they're inside the Discord. But I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video breaking down tomorrow's trades. Take care.